Welcome back to the show, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're breaking down a path that is getting super popular for Indian students who dream of a medical career. We're talking about getting an affordable, high-quality MBBS degree in Kyrgyzstan.
So over the next few minutes, we're going to walk through this together. We'll start with the big challenge so many of you are facing, and then we'll see why Kyrgyzstan might just be the answer. After that, we'll dive into the nitty-gritty of the academic path, look at the pros and cons, honestly, and then wrap up with some key facts you'll definitely want to know. By the end, you'll have a really clear picture of what this is all about.
All right, so first things first, let's set the stage. You know, the reality for a ton of aspiring doctors in India, well, it's tough. The competition for seats is just unbelievably fierce, and the cost of private medical colleges, it can be absolutely astronomical, putting that dream way out of reach for so many brilliant students.
So, does that question hit home for you? If it does, you are definitely not alone. It is exactly why so many students are now looking for other options. And today, we're going to focus on one of the most popular paths they're taking.
So, what is it about Kyrgyzstan that's turning it into such a hotspot for medical education? Come on, let's break down exactly what's pulling everyone in.
Okay, this slide really gets to the heart of it. First off, and this is huge, the curriculum follows that 5+1 year format that India's National Medical Commission requires. That's absolutely essential if you want to practice back home. The entry bar is also pretty reasonable, just 50% in your core science subjects. And look at the rest. It's all taught in English, the degree is recognized around the world, and you don't have to worry about some separate local entrance exam. Plus, on top of all that, it's known for being a really safe country for students. And now, for the main event. The cost. We're talking a total cost for the entire 6-year program, including tuition, of just 15 to 25 lakh rupees. Seriously, when you compare that to the fees at private medical colleges in India, the difference is just staggering. It's a game changer. All right, so you get the appeal. It's affordable, it's recognized, but what does the actual academic journey look like, day to day? Let's get into the specifics of the program, from who's eligible to the paperwork you'll need.
So the whole program is structured over 6 years, which again is key for that NMC recognition. For the first 5 years, you're deep in your medical education, covering all the foundational and clinical studies. Then that entire final year is a mandatory hands-on clinical internship. That's where you'll get that crucial real-world patient experience.
Okay, let's look at the exact requirements here. You've got to be at least 17. Academically, you need a 50% in your core science subjects for the general category, and that drops to 40% for reserved categories. But, and I really want to stress this, look at that entrance exam line. A qualifying NEET score is mandatory. Let me say that again, it is absolutely non-negotiable if you ever want to practice medicine back in India. As for timing, admissions usually open up twice a year, in March and September.
Now, to actually get the ball rolling, you're going to need to get these documents together. We're talking your 10th and 12th grade mark sheets, that all-important NEET scorecard, a valid passport, and of course, the admission letter from the university. That's key for getting your visa. You'll also need a few passport-sized photos and a medical fitness certificate. Trust me, getting all this stuff organized early will save you a ton of stress later on. Okay, so far it all sounds pretty compelling, right? But a huge life decision like this, well, it requires the full picture. To be really thorough, we have to look not just at all the good stuff, but also at the potential challenges you might run into.
And here is that balance view. On the one hand, the advantages are crystal clear. A globally recognized degree, an amazing price, a safe environment, and hey, even Indian food in the hostels. But on the flip side, there are real things to think about. The climate is cold, you'll be adapting to a totally new culture, and there might be an initial language barrier with the locals. But the most critical risk, the one you have to be super careful about, is fraudulent agents.
Listen, this warning comes straight from our source material, and you have to take it seriously. There are shady agents out there who will promise you admission to colleges that don't even exist or try to sell you extra seats that aren't real. The bottom line is this: do your own homework. Always verify the credentials of both your agent and the university directly before you sign or pay for anything. Please be safe.
All right, now that we've covered the academics and all the big considerations, let's ground this with some quick, practical facts about Kyrgyzstan itself. Knowing a little bit about the country can make a really big difference.
So here are some fast facts. The capital's Bishkek. The currency, the som, is almost 1-to-1 with the Indian rupee, which makes figuring out your budget so much easier. But what's really amazing is how convenient it is. The time difference is only 30 minutes, and the flight from India?
It's only about 3.5 hours long. It's surprisingly close to home.
And what about your day-to-day life? Well, your monthly living costs are also pretty manageable. Food in a student mess, for instance, will run you about $120 to $150. Local transport is super affordable, just $20 to $30, and your hostel accommodation breaks down to a very reasonable $50 to $70 a month. It all adds up to a very sustainable, very doable budget.
So there you have it. We've laid out the academic path, the costs, the pros, and the really important cons. For a lot of students, Kyrgyzstan is shaping up to be a viable, affordable, and high-quality path to earning that white coat. We've given you the roadmap. The next step on this journey, well, that's yours to take.